What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash in this video. We're also going to talk about Bitcoin, Satoshi Vision, BSV in this video as well, for all the degens out there. No, I think BSV is, it's got some promising aspects to it as well, but I think BCH, if there was any crypto that's to be called the better Bitcoin, it is BCH, but who cares about my bias? We're still going to give it a genuine, honest analysis, okay? If that sounds good to you, hit the like button and subscribe. Let's get into it. Here we are. $459 right now is the price. Finding some turbulence here. Yes, we are on a weekly basis, daily basis as well. Wrestling with this overbought, and you just can't seem to get there, man. I want to say that this is bearish, but I don't know. It looks bullish. It almost looks bullish. It's like a different reaction, but you're just not getting there, man. You're moving up, volume's coming in and everything. You've got about average volume over the past few days. You just keep wicking. It's like you want to go higher, but something's holding you back. Maybe it's Bitcoin. Maybe it's the state of affairs in the world. Maybe this is just some trickery before we move up. I don't know. In reality, we're kind of consolidating at the top of this zone, which is bullish, right? Consolidating like this before breaking out, it happens sometimes. That's bullish. Like we did this here. We kind of consolidated right here before moving up higher, right? We had more to go. Let's even see right here in the price. I mean, look at that. Literally, same thing, right? You consolidated here at the top where you found resistance before, and then you continue to go. I don't know. It's almost like it wants to be bearish, but it just can't be bearish. But it wants to be bullish, but it can't be bullish. So where are we going to go? I don't know. Let's look at the short-term stuff. 1 hour time frame looks bearish. Yes, it looks like it wants to go lower. So we can assume that we might go lower over the coming hours at least. But nothing crazy. Probably nothing crazy. From a low to a high, we're right below the 236. I think we hit the 382 or lower. So we're at 460 right now. Do expect prices below 450, maybe as low as 430 to 420, right? That magical green number of 420 might be where we go. But I think 450 has a very solid chance of holding up. Support just above there. Prior resistance right in this area. And it's the 382. I wouldn't be surprised at all if that's what happened, right? As you're moving down, volume is dying off a bit. So that's encouraging. But let's just see how that goes. 4 hour time frame here. 4 hour does look bearish as well, rejecting the overbought zone. But you're at an area where you might expect to bounce. My only conniption there is, again, you're at the 236, where you are below this 236. And maybe I should extend this fib here from a low to a high. Come on now, let's get it. Come on, right there. Right there at the 236. I suppose as long as you're above it, as long as you're above 456, there's hope. But I still think you're going to go lower. 440 sounds about right. 382, right there, man. 440, 450, somewhere in that area. I would like to change it. I think this fib is a little bit more significant. So I think 440 is probably right. But again, if we were to go lower, 420 probably holds. I doubt that we go any lower than that. I certainly don't expect that we take out this low here. So a little bit lower to go, and then some upside. Maybe it's not today, maybe it's not tomorrow, but sometime soon enough we will be breaking out. And you guys know the same old song and dance we've been singing and dancing to for a while now. We're about to break out of this consolidation phase here, which is a very small, over year-long, like year-and-a-half long consolidation phase that we've been in. Year and a quarter long consolidation phase we've been in. That's small potatoes compared to this humongous consolidation phase that we're about to break out of. When we break out of both of these in combination, man, I think we're going to see some fantastic growth. The BCH BTC chart will grow. We're seeing some things. We're seeing some different kind of behavior with the BCH BTC chart than we've seen throughout its history so far. I mean, we are getting lower lows. That much is the same. But if you notice, it does look as though, man, I just drew a perfect, look at that. Look at how well that did. I can't normally draw lines. If you watch the channel, you know I can't normally draw lines that well. But that's a very nice rounded bottom frying pan pattern. And this, typically, nothing moves in a straight line forever, right? Typically, you get some kind of relief rally. And I think this could be indicative that we are going to, by the end of this cycle, or going into the cycles in the future, right, 2027 and beyond, we are going to see some retracements versus Bitcoin, right? I mean, just imagine, real quick, okay? Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but if you're like I am, shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon. If you're like me and you believe that Bitcoin Cash is the better Bitcoin here, maybe even believe it for BSV too, right? Whatever, that's why we're doing both of these. We'll talk about BSV next. I believe that BCH in time will retrace this range. It'll be worth 2% of a Bitcoin. It'll be worth 6% of a Bitcoin. It might even see new all-time highs versus this chart inevitably, right? BTC, being the store of value coin it is, getting away from the white paper entirely and becoming a thing of its own. And it's funny watching some of these Bitcoin maximalists starting to call for it to be a peer-to-peer cash system, and it's like, but they're implementing all these third-party, third-tier systems to do it, right? They can't. Why don't you just do Bitcoin Cash? I'm getting off topic here, guys, but But it's funny watching some of these guys like talking about updates or certain new protocols that are coming in to Bitcoin, like Bitcoin Not or what Bitcoin Knots or whatever it is. There's other things too. I'm drawing a blank right now, but it's funny watching them implement these things and get excited. It's like, dude, you could have just had Bitcoin Cash. You want a peer-to-peer cash system. Here it is. We told it's been right all along. The world's going to come around and see, and you have to assume that when the world comes around to see, we're going to retrace this range. It's not going to go down forever. It's going to retrace. BTC, I think, whether you like it or whether you don't like it, I feel safe in saying it will be worth millions of dollars one day. Millions of dollars one day. Bitcoin Cash right now is at what, $460? What are we at? 480? Where are we at? $460 right now. If Bitcoin, BTC, is worth $1 million and Bitcoin Cash is worth 1% of that, which is all the way down here, right at this red line, that's $10,000, right? Is that right? Million? Yeah. If it's worth 10% of $1 million, that's $100,000. And that 10% area happens to be right in the golden ratio zone. An area that you found support at before, an area that you found resistance at before, a likely area to go to. All I'm saying is it might not be this cycle, but in time, you can't deny, as exciting as Bitcoin is at $100,000, wouldn't it be more exciting if you bought Bitcoin at $460 and it was worth $100,000? Wouldn't that be more exciting? You have that opportunity here, and we just defined it. BCH, BTC, this chart inevitably will, and you can see it happening, guys. This is a monthly chart. This is very long and drawn out, but this is what they call a frying pan. This is what they call a rounded bottom, a saucer, and it promotes it. This is one of the most bullish accumulation patterns you'll ever have in existence, and it's happening between BCH and BTC, the dominance between the two. You would at least assume, I would at least assume, and what's it worth what I think? I've only been doing technical analysis for 9 years. I've been wrong about my timing on Bitcoin Cash and stuff, don't get me wrong, but man, this is a very powerful pattern. And traders, speculators, analysts all over the world, they're probably aware of this. And maybe not all, maybe not everybody all right now, but they'll become aware of it as it continues to grow, as it continues to do this. This is an absurdly bullish formation. I would anticipate we at least go to the golden ratio, which at 6.4% to 9.2% would imply at $1 million BTC, which I very much believe we'll get to at some point. That implies Bitcoin Cash will one day be worth $60,000, $92,000. More than that, hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is stuff we already knew was going to happen. But the chart validates that too, and at least depending on how we retrace from here. But this is a very bullish, it's the most bullish phase of accumulation is a rounded bottom, at least in my opinion. That's what I've been taught. Very, very bullish stuff. And as it comes to light, as it comes to fruition, as we start seeing, it might not be, you might not rip through the upside this cycle. But as the cycles go on, as Bitcoin gains in value too, so will BCH, and it will gain value versus Bitcoin. If you're thinking long term, if you're one of those people who's stacking sats long term, you should be stacking them in the BCH ecosystem, in my opinion. Anyways, let's get on to BSV. Let's talk about BSV. I'm not going to give a super long spiel with BSV, but I will give it an honest shake. Okay, let's do it. Here we are, and I want, on that note, let's even throw some different indicators. We're going to throw the, oh my goodness, what happened here? There we go, MACD, stochastics, and the RSI. The RSI looks bad. Looks like you want to go down on a daily time frame. Stochastics look bad too. The MACD kind of looks good, actually. You've got some very severe bullish divergence here, but you might be going lower. Let's look at the short-term stuff, and then we'll zoom back out, okay? Short-term stuff, stochastics look bad. MACD looks like it's about to cross up, and the RSI does have bullish divergence. I take it back. The stochastics have bullish divergence too. Okay, so maybe you bounce here. Where Bitcoin Cash looks like it wants to go lower, you actually kind of look like you're at a relative area to bounce. Let's see. Low to high. Right at the golden ratio too. Yeah, if you were to go lower, I think you would have gone lower. This is kind of like maybe if we were to get into the 15-minute time frame, is this like a diamond? Yeah, this looks like a diamond bottom, and you're breaking out to the upside right now. Okay, so you probably do move up. By the time you watch this video, you'll probably be up at higher prices. Where are you going to go? Golden ratio to the 0.5382 area. That's a very common thing. So $31, 31.6. I'm sorry, 31.6 to 31.2. We're dealing with like smaller numbers, so I have to be specific. 31.64 to 31.612, something in that area. That's probably where we'll go to find resistance, as we did before on our way up. So will we find resistance here on our way down? I very much do anticipate that we'll work our way lower, but for the time being, A little bit of upside. A little bit of upside, maybe between today and tomorrow. 4-hour time frame. Would agree. The stochastics look like they want to turn around here. The MACD is wrestling with the 0 line. I mean, the bearish momentum is building. You've got bearish momentum here. I guess that the MACD does look a little bit concerning, but I'm not too concerned with it. I stand by it. I think you will move up. I think that this is expressing that you will see lower prices soon enough, but maybe over the coming days you will move. You're going to move up higher, and I don't think you'll move above 32 cents, but maybe just below there. Maybe at the highest 32.3, if I had to guess. Yes. Daily time frame. This is what really makes it bearish, right? I think this is what really makes it bearish. This to me looks like you inevitably would go lower, and you should anticipate lower prices. From a low here to a high there, you're wrestling with this golden ratio as well. I think you'll complete the thought and see $28.38 at the lowest, $26.57. I don't think you'll go lower than this low here. It's possible, it can happen, but I don't think that's what's going to happen here. I think you made an immaculate recovery. You've got a consolidation phase right now. It's like a tightening wedge or a parallel channel, whatever you want to call it. And likely you will find support at the 786, 886. Probably going into the end of the month. And then July, you should be recovering, looking to see new highs. Whenever you do move up to new highs, where are you going to go? Let's look at this on a weekly time frame. Yeah, if you go just a little bit lower. Man, what if you went just below $26 on a closing weekly basis? You had some bullish divergence. You don't need it. You don't need it. But wouldn't that be nice if you did? Because then you have bullish divergence. So you don't need it. Volatile, definitely volatile, but to the downside. Whenever you start moving up, whenever you do recover, high, I'm assuming that's the low. I don't assume that you're going to go lower. Let's see. Hold on. I think 2650 will hold. I think 2650 will hold. You'll likely, going into the months to end the summertime here, you'll probably hit $70 to $104, if not more. The average coin's going to do a 3 to a 5x. That seems a bit low for BSV. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe then by the end of the summer, we're looking at $196 to $200. That wouldn't surprise me. Back up to these points of resistance here, something like that, yeah. Maybe not by the end of July, but by the end of the summer, you could be at like 196 or higher. That's what I would expect. Bottoming out, you've kind of got a nice rounded bottom too, don't you? Kind of. Like rounding out here and then coming out over here. You might come out on top, right? Something like that. It doesn't have to interact the whole way through to be rounded. It's just the touch points, the focal points, and here you are. I actually really do like this bottoming formation for BSV. You just have a little bit more to go. And then slowly but surely, I think you're getting set up for like a, just like you saw here, it's kind of like parabolic, but reverse parabolic. You're going to see this, I mean, it is parabolic still with this kind of curve, right? That soft curve, but not parabolic in the way that you'd want to see. Or maybe for a downtrend, it is the way you'd want to see. You don't want it to be parabolic this way. I guess you'd rather be parabolic this way, to be fair. But the parabolic that you want to see is this way. This is the way you want to see. And I bet going into the end of the year, and going into 2026, you'll have some pumps going on. I do think this cycle will extend into 2026, you guys. I've got nothing else to say. I hope that all makes sense. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. All right, bye-bye.